I believe this post is important because many people do not understand exactly how an oracle speaks when you receive a noun, ni, n, the practice of seeking knowledge and clarity of the past, present, or future through spiritual means. Divination types can widely vary but are often sacred objects, elements of nature, or persons. Class equals glossary link greater than divination. Whether the oracle is in human form, i.e., a medium, such as myself, or an instrument or symbols are used, the language of the spirits can be difficult to understand in certain cases. Like the dream world, messages through divination can be told in stories, metaphors, symbols or codes. If the diviner is great at interpretation, he or she will lay it out plainly for the patron to understand. However, when you receive a divination, there are 3 important things to understand about the messages you receive. 1. Many times what the seeker receives a noun, the practice of seeking knowledge and clarity of the past, present, or future through spiritual means. Reading types can widely vary but are often sacred objects, elements of nature, or persons. Related, divination, class equals glossary link greater than reading for will not be revealed in the reading. This is because during divinations, the spirit or the oracle will only speak about what is immediately important to the seeker's life or that of his or her family. In other words, what needs your attention now is regarded as more important. 2 spirits often reveal messages in an obscure way which can be confusing to the diviner but is meant for the seeker to understand. So, for example, if the seeker has a private concern or something the spirit knows is better revealed privately, it will be told in such a way that only the seeker understands. So for instance, I once had a woman come to me for a reading for the first time. This is back when people would come to my house for readings, pre-embracing spirituality days. After the reading ended and the woman was about to step outside the door, I peeked around and called out, "Oh, by the way, the spirit says to tell you that you are healthy." She simply smiled and thanked me politely before leaving. The following week she called me and told me that the real reason she had come for the reading was because she was terrified about the results of an AIDS test she had taken prior to coming to me. Throughout the reading, she did not hear anything about the test or her health, just until she was heading out the door. However, the topic of AIDS is a very sensitive one and can be embarrassing for some to discuss. So, the spirits reassure the seeker without the diviner knowing exactly what the case was. 3. Some messages can be given but not intercepted, while others are simply not revealed at all. These are the messages that are either destined or whoever the message is meant for has already signed off whatever is to come, making it impossible to be interfered with by the diviner. Let me explain this. Quite recently I read a woman and told her that she should expect to hear of someone being hospitalized and passing away by the end of this year. She quickly asked if it was any of her parents as both were currently ill. I told her I believed it was the mother. She wanted to be sure and so I asked if she would like me to check the noun, Ifa, from the Yoruba tradition. Ifa is a divination system used by the Babalawo and or Iyanifa. The oracle is owned by the Yoruba god of wisdom, Orunmila. Here are some posts on IFA for further understanding. The IFA divination process, class equals glossary link greater than IFA oracle. We did and the oracle pointed to the father, which was strange because it was different than what I had said. It did not take 3 weeks before the mother was hospitalized and later passed away recently. Now what is important about this story is that it was after the reading that the mother was hospitalized and I had told the daughter something to do in the hospital in order to save the mother's life. Unbeknownst to me, she did not do as I instructed, perhaps for fear of what others would think, even though the work given to her was just an ordinary fruit to be used on her mother. Moments before the mother died, she called me while in the hospital and told me that the doctors were preparing her for her mother's demise. It was then I asked if she had done what I told her to do, to which she told me no. This admittance made me realize that the mother would not make it through the night, and made me realize that this was destined to be. Now, let me break this down further. The mother had already checked out of her life even before the daughter had come for a reading. Now note that the IFA oracle had pointed to the father and we did a sacrifice to protect him. Why was this? Because the oracle saw that the mother had already chosen to go long before the physical body had actually followed. This is a very real thing. Some people are here with us, walking, talking and breathing, but the spirit has already departed. So note that the oracle did not give us any solution to protect the mother because again, the diviner cannot intercept something that is already sealed and signed. Now here is a slightly different example. A woman called me for a reading about her troubled son. He was addicted to drugs and was suicidal. While I read her, I did see what was actually happening to the son, which I will not go into, and I told the mother the solution to the problem. One of the problems was that the son's spirit had a lot of light, and it was overwhelming for him to carry here on earth, and so this manifested in depression, suicidal tendencies, etc. It was a great reading because many things were clarified. However, the next morning after the reading, or perhaps the next evening, the mother called me frantically and told me that she was on her way to the hospital. Her son had been hit by a car and was badly injured. She sent me a picture of him bloodied and bruised. I called her several times throughout the day, concerned about the boy. However, to my surprise, her tone was very clipped with me. I sensed that she was angry with me because the reading had not revealed that this would happen. I stopped calling her, but it did bother me. Why didn't it come up? IFA had even checked the boy the same day I did, and it also did not reveal or warn about the accident. In the middle of the night, I received the answer. It came to me that this troubled boy who had attempted suicide several times and used very hard drugs had to experience this. With his actions and cries for death, he had to see what near death was like. It was his own noun. Ori is a Yoruba concept of one's inner consciousness. Ori literally translates to head in Yoruba. It is also considered to be a divinity, the one that leads and guides you throughout your life. It is possible to come to Earth with either a very strong Ori, head, or a very weak Ori, class equals, glossary link, greater than Ori, his inner consciousness, that removed this event from the mother's reading because there is more for him to do on Earth, but they had to put him in a situation of the energy he had pulled towards himself so that he could ask himself, is this really what you wanted? The spirit, or light, of this boy still had work to do. In other words, this event was not revealed because it had to happen. If I had seen it, I would have offered to stop it from happening, and if I had interfered spiritually, the boy would have learned nothing. Anything that can be seen can be changed, this is my motto. But not everything is meant to be seen, and these are the ones that are not meant to be changed. Before I end this post, I would like to advise anyone who ever gets a reading from someone, it is always best to get a divination without specifying to the diviner what you want to know. Allow the diviner to speak what the spirits reveal. It is only afterwards if he or she asks if you have any questions, then you can go in with your specificities. Warning, to any persons who are interested in this lifestyle of being or using oracles for divination, please be sure that this